doctor walked among us with fire in his eyes, not chasing fame or glory, but the truth behind our cries. He looked at all the suffering and asked himself one night, what if everything I learned was missing half the light? He sat among his patients and watched them fade away. The pills, the prescriptions couldn't keep the pain at bay. So he went back to the beginning, to the root beneath the ground. And in the food we're eating, that's where the truth was found. He said, we are not broken, we are simply being fed. The poison dressed as pleasure, the sickness baked in bread. He mapped the body's language, he drew it on the wall. With bones and charts and passion, he wanted to heal us all. You glow, you burn so bright, a candle in the darkness, a warrior of light. They try to break your mission, they try to steal your voice, but even falling and rising was always still your choice. Go, the world may never know how many souls you carried, how far you helped them go. You gave your life its meaning, you answered every call. You rose each time they broke you and gave your all. He took his truth to podcasts, to screens and open squares. He simplified the complex so everyone could share. With skeletons and diagrams, he showed us what we do, how every bite we swallow can heal or can undo. When people started waking, the testimonies came. The sick who found their healing, who whispered out his name. He gave me back my body, he gave me back my ears, a chorus of the grateful rising through their tears. But not all welcome morning, some preferred the night. They came with words as weapons to extinguish all his light. They questioned and they cornered, they struck him where it hurts. They buried his reputation beneath their practiced words. He fell, God knows he fell into the silence only broken dreamers know so well. But every time the darkness thought that it had won the fight, he rose again, and walked back to the light. Glow, you burn so bright, a candle in the darkness, a warrior of light. They try to break your mission, they try to steal your voice, but even fall and rising was always still your choice. Glow, the world may never know how many souls you carried, how far you helped them go. You gave your life its meaning, you answered every call. You rose each time they broke you and gave your all. Then came a silence, no one expected or prepared, a mystery that lingered in the questions left declared. He left without an answer, he left without goodbye, and no one could explain it, and no one knew quite why. But something strange and beautiful rose up from his grave. The world that barely knew him became the world he saved. A million voices speaking, a million screens aglow. I followed what he taught me and watched how far I've grown. The ones he never reached in life, he reached them after death. His words became a movement carried on the people's breath. They shared his name in languages he may have never known, and every seed he planted had finally been sown. Maybe his theory had its flaws, but without trying, without falling, we never move at all. Maybe he made mistakes, but tell me, who among us has never lost their way? He was not perfect, none of us are. He had his fire, his genius, his scars. And this world would breathe so much more free if we learned to hear each other gracefully. To see the best in those whose ways we don't understand. To hold another story with an open, gentle hand. To treat each soul the way we wish that we were treated too. This is what he lived, and what he's asking us to do. Glow, you burn so bright, a candle in the darkness, a warrior of light. They tried to erase your mission, they tried to steal your name, but death itself could not contain the size of what you came. Glow, now all the world knows how many lives you touched, how far your river flows. You said this was your mission on this earth below, and God bore witness. Glow, God bore witness. Glow, God bore witness. Glow. Rest now, you have fought enough. Rest now, the seeds are growing up. Rest now, your spirit leaves the ground, rising with white doves without a sound. Thank you for every truth you dared to say. Thank you for rising every time you fell. Thank you for showing us the